afterlife was very important for the Egyptians. Although gods and goddesses demanded mummification and obeisance while one was alive, when you died, the gods became beneficent protectors. Representation of the gods were often a blend of a man and an animal. These animals, when attached to the body of a man or a woman, assumed a certain nobility. Egyptians didn't believe death was the last stage of life, but simply a state in which one was at rest, awaiting to be revived. Little is known about the passage, meaning their lives and deaths are not easily reconstructed. But for those fortunate to live comfortably, funerary objects, mummification, and entombment tell us how dangerous the next life could be. Mummification was an important step in the afterlife, and was above all an act of purification for the Egyptians. The process of mummification has two stages. First, the embalming of the body, then the wrapping and burial of the body. First, the body is taken to the place of purification. There, the embalmers wash this body with palm wine and rinse it with water from the Nile. Next, the embalmers remove the internal organs by making a cut on the left side of the body. Once they are removed, they are placed in jars, and each jar has its protector. The 4 jars containing the liver, the lungs, the stomach, and the intestines were meant to be protected so they could make it to the afterlife. These jars are called the canopic jars. A long hook is used to smash the brain and pull it out through the nose. The heart is not yet touched because it will be used as one of the judgments to actually reach the afterlife. The body is now covered and stuffed with natron, which will dry it out. All the fluids and rags from the embalming process will be saved and buried along with the body. After 40 days, the body is washed again with water from the Nile, then it is covered with oils to help the skin stay elastic. First, the head and the neck are wrapped with strips of fine linen. Then the fingers and the toes are individually wrapped. The arms and legs are wrapped separately. Between the layers of wrapping, the embalmers place amulets to protect the body in its journey through the underworld. The arms and legs are tied together. A papyrus scroll with spells from the Book of the Dead is placed between the wrapped hands. More linen strips are wrapped around the body. At every layer, the bandages are painted with liquid resin that helps to glue the bandages together. Finally, a large cloth is wrapped around the entire mummy. It is attached with the strips of linen that run from the top to the bottom of the mummy and around its middle. A board of painted wood is placed on top of the mummy before the mummy is lowered into its coffin. The first coffin is then put inside a second coffin. After the burial, before a person could reach the afterlife, they began a long journey through the underworld. The underworld was a place that was full of terrifying monsters and dangerous animals. A person would need magic to successfully overcome these threats. The ancient Egyptians chose spells to take with them on their journey. The spells were chosen from a group of spells known as the Book of the Dead. Throughout the underworld journey, the deceased spirit would have to contend with the gods, strange creatures, and gatekeepers to reach Osiris, who was the god and chief judge of the underworld, and the Hall of Final Judgment. Here, they will plead their case for entry into the afterlife. Once they have completed the journey through the afterlife and reached the Hall of Judgment, they have 2 more steps to finally reach the afterlife. One of them is standing before the 42 divine judges, where they will plead their innocence of any wrongdoing during their lifetime. The second part of the judgment process was the weighting of the heart ceremony. The heart was weighing against the feather of the goddess Mat. This feather was a symbol for truth and justice and helped determine whether the deceased person had indeed been virtuous. If the heart was found to be heavier than the feather, it was fed to Amit, the devourer, and the soul was cast into darkness. If the scales were balanced, the deceased had passed the test and was taken before Osiris, who welcomed them into the afterlife.